Some people create art with their hands. Others create art with the way they live. Shin Saimdang was both. She was born in 1504, in a quiet home surrounded by bamboo groves in Korea's Gangwon province. From an early age she showed an unusual gift for painting and embroidery. She didn't simply draw what she saw. She drew what she felt, the breath of a leaf, the stillness of an insect, the softness of morning light on dew. Her favorite subjects were small plants and tiny creatures that others might overlook. She studied them closely, capturing their delicate forms with brushstrokes so fine they seemed to tremble with life. That gentle way of seeing the world later shaped her famous paintings of grasses and insects, works that would be treasured for centuries. One day, according to a story passed down through generations, Saimdang finished a painting and set it out in the yard to dry. It showed small leaves and insects resting quietly on the ground, rendered with such careful detail that each wing seemed translucent, each blade of grass ready to bend in the wind. As the paper dried under the sun, a rooster wandered across the yard. It stopped, tilted its head, and suddenly rushed forward. The bird began pecking at the painted insects, completely convinced they were real. The family watched in astonishment. That small moment has been remembered for centuries as proof of how vivid her brushwork truly was, so lifelike it could fool the sharpest eyes of nature itself. After she married Lee Won-soo, a scholar from a respected family, Saimdang continued to paint while caring for their home and 7 children. But life was not always simple. At times, her husband lost focus in his studies and drifted toward distraction. Seeing this, Saimdang made a bold and heartfelt gesture. In a culture where a woman's uncut hair symbolized her marriage bond and family honor, she cut a strand of her own hair, an act of profound meaning, and offered it to him. "If you continue to neglect your studies," she said, "I will walk a different path alone." It was not anger. It was sincerity. A plea for him to take his life seriously and honor the responsibilities he carried. Her husband understood and he returned to his books. Years later, another moment revealed her calm creativity and generous spirit. During a village celebration, a young woman accidentally spilled food on a fine silk skirt she had borrowed. The dark stain spread across the pale fabric, and the woman began to cry, worried she had ruined something precious and would face public shame. Saimdang stepped toward her. "Let me see it," she said gently. She took the skirt, a brush, and a bit of ink. Around the stain she painted a cluster of graceful grapes. The round shapes flowed naturally across the silk. The vines curved softly. The leaves settled into place as if they had always belonged there. The stain disappeared into the design so seamlessly that people believed it had been part of the pattern from the beginning. What had been a source of embarrassment became something beautiful. Stories like these are why Shin Saimdang is remembered today, not only because she painted well, but because she lived with intention, wisdom, and quiet strength. She observed the world closely, finding wonder in what others dismissed as ordinary. She cared for her family deeply, raising a son who would become one of Korea's greatest Confucian scholars. She carried beauty into every corner of her life, even in small, unexpected moments. In a time when women's artistic achievements were often overlooked, Saimdang's work survived. Her paintings hang in museums. Her face appears on Korean currency. But perhaps more importantly, her approach to life endures. The belief that art is not separate from living, and that creativity can transform even the smallest gesture into something meaningful. Shin Saimdang did not separate art from life. To her they were the same. She painted insects on paper and grace into daily existence, proving that profound artistry isn't always found in grand galleries, but sometimes in a kind word, a steady hand, and the choice to see beauty where others see only problems. That is the legacy she left behind.